All right, I'm going to play some one-on-one. Sitting here over at the Oregon coast, chilling out. Play some Tour 6. Played in the 9-hole cup today. Was going to practice and decided I would qualify with a minus 13. Probably need to be somewhere between minus 14 and minus 15 in order to win, but I forgot that hole number 9 was a birdie hole with an eagle opportunity. So I was just playing along, not really paying attention to the holes, and thought, no problem, I got a 14. No dice. No joy. Let's see, I'm going to play the rock and a marlin since we're on this particular hole. We got that particular wind. Got 3 topspin, don't need to get too jiggy with it. 3-5. 3.5 rings. Now let's just see if I can hit it perfect. Hitting it great to the left. Yo left. Yo left. Have a nice wood shot from there. Let's see what my opponent does. See if they try and go straight forward for it. I should have brought my big topper out and went to the other side. I never can figure out why when people come over to this side, they keep their extra mile instead of bringing out their accurate bag. They'll probably roll on. They'll be fine. Just fine. No, this is the wrong bag. But I got plenty of room. I think it's about 3 per ring. I think. It's out. Excuse me, 2 per ring. I'm gonna go about 2.5 rings, which puts me a couple rings into power. Probably could have set that up a little bit better. I just never realized what you said. Isn't it perfect? You can see the topography here. The cup is up on a plateau, and then it runs up to it. So from the angle that we're coming at it, you got to run up that plateau, and everything wants to go to the left. You come out from the other side, you got several options. You get up in there far enough, there's a rough bump. I think the next time I play this hole, I'm going to try the rough bump here. I've never really played the rough bump. I've tried to come at it from out in this area with my long iron. I think you get the right ball combo, you might be able to do a rough bump in there. It's pretty slim. There's definitely an adjustment that we have to make. I can't remember what the adjustment is when we're out in the field on the other side. If you go straight forward on the drive, I think it's like a 10 or a 20% adjustment, something like that. Somewhere in that neighborhood. And a great to the left. They've got their options covered. They hit a great to the right and then great to the left. See if we can get our putt and get home. These are not my favorite types of putts. Any putt longer than about 1.5 yards is not my favorite type of putt. If you watch my videos on a regular basis, I'm not a very good putter. Which is absolutely crazy, but that's just the way it works. I want to make sure I switch that bag too. I brought that bag with the extra mile and the big dog. There's several holes on this tour that if you've got that bag, that's the right bag to have. And I had a bag with an extra mile and a Guardian. And the Guardian's good for raw distance, but you need raw distance and topspin. got to remember how to play these Tour 6 shootouts. The big headwind here. This is not the optimal club for me to take. Put on about one top spin. 8, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8. Somewhere in that neighborhood. Probably should have did a little bit of an adjustment there. So I'll make it up by hitting a 50 ring great to the left. If you bring the club on this hole with great ball guide, if you've got a sniper works best, but any of them will work. Anything that's got ball guide will work. It's not that you can't get it done with a big dog, but it works better with a sniper. It usually takes about one top spin. I had a little bit, probably just a little bit too much on it right there, but I should have taken a little bit of wind off and it would have been, I should have added on. Probably did that as like a 9-6 pull instead of a 8-8 or whatever it was. That would have put me more in line as far as distance-wise with the cup. My opponent's got it good. Got it good. No rollback. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. What are you doing, Buster? What are you getting into? He looked at me and walked away. I'm not getting anything. Not me. All right, that was one hole. Let's see if we can get some of these damn city parks. I don't know why they're not giving any of them to us. I guess they want us to focus on the Vineyard Acres tournament. I want to make sure I switch to my number 1 bag. Remember, I got that big dog in there. Here we roll. Let's get some City Park. City Park, City Park. Crunch and Munch. City Park, hole 2, par 4. That's what I'm talking about. This is definitely going to be bag number 2. I want to play this like I'm playing it with in a tournament. I'm going to play it with, I usually play it with a Kingmaker. I'll play it with a Titan. Okay, so you see this peninsula where the rough is sticking out there. I think I need to be, I think I need to be about 3.5 rings off. So see, half of my white ring is right there in that spot. I'm going to take the wind out plus 10%, so it's 4-4. Let's see if I got the trajectory right. Isn't it perfect? It's somewhere between 3 and 4 rings, and I got to remember what the trajectory is. But I normally take this with a Kingmaker, so my line is a little bit. You can get a little more side spin with that and go right through the middle of that gap. So whatever club you have, like if it's a QB or a rock, I really recommend using a QB or a rock, whichever one has the most curl. And you'll have to practice that with your club in order to get the trajectory right. And it's a matter of being your blue ring, where your blue ring is lined up with the outside edge of where that rough kicks out. And the deal is it's just a pure setup shot. You don't take any risk. You take that shot, and you'll, once you hit it perfect the first time, see where you end up coming through this mouth. And you may be able to move it a little bit to the left or the right so that you give yourself a great to the left or the right. I think it's -5 to the cup, if I remember correctly. So it's 1.8. 10% would be, I'm going to do 1.7. It's 2 per ring. So we're somewhere in that neighborhood. No matter what, I can't get away from that big dog. I think I have a QB bag. Close. I think I have a bag with a QB in it. And I think it's got a sniper. Need to change that big dog out. I was playing, what hole was I playing? I was playing in the 9-hole cup, and there was one of the holes that was in there that I was using a rock and a big dog. The key on this hole is the drive is just a delivery system to put you in a spot so that you can take the shot to the cup. And you want to end up in the same spot every time. It's not good enough to just go, all right, I didn't end up in the rough. You want to end up in the same spot every time. Nice. Nice shot. Close. Close. A little too much speed. That way you can practice that second shot over and over and over, and you can get that adjustment down. I think it's 10% to the 10% on the drive and -5 to the cup is what I think it is. And I quit asking questions. It should be, you should only be, well, it's uphill. So if you're uphill, you're taking wind off. If it's downhill, you're adding wind on. It is definitely uphill. All right, this is one of the holes we haven't. I don't think I've gotten this hole yet in this practice session. I'm going to try it from down low. I know that there's a shot from over here that you can do, and I'm just not a fan of that. You can try and use the backboard up there if you've got a club with a lot more backspin. So like in the past, I've taken this with a Saturn. I'm going to do a full wind adjustment plus 20%. So that'd be 8, 9, maybe 5, 6. There's 5, 6. Because of course they're going to give us nothing but big headwind on all of these holes, so that we can't get a good practice in on them. It's almost for sure that one of these holes, and I think this hole right here, in the past they've given us, we've ended up with some kind of headwind where it's like a head side wind coming in from the left to the right. But usually, traditionally, in every tournament, one of the par threes has a headwind. And this one right here, I believe in the past has been a hole that they've given us headwind. So that shot right there might actually be the shot that we end up taking. But I'm not sure I like where I was at with my Grizzly there. I'll probably end up bringing a Grim Reaper or a Saturn because I want to get closer to the hole and use more backspin. Good game. Good game. I don't have a pinch yet, so I'm just going to play for an hour, see what happens. I've been playing late at night, and so my pin chests are all set for late, so I'm going to let them roll over so I can get back on a normal schedule. Here we go, getting some comments. That's what it's all about. Trying to participate in the Prism chest. That way you can really work on your clubs. Juan from the Mary Millers. City Park, hole 6, par 5. Look at that. 3 in a row. That's what I'm talking about. And this hole right here, I'm bringing a Titan. I think I don't have my notes with me. I think I'm doing a Titan, one less than Buster. One. It's okay, buddy. One less than max topspin, trying to end up down in this area down here. But that's with some kind of tailwind. So with a 5-2 headwind, I'm going to have to put a little bit of topspin or a little bit of overpower on it. And luckily for me, my opponent brought a Titan, so I can bring a Titan as well. The king of balls. That's right. It says it right there in that small print underneath the Titan. Titan. Nice. Nice shot. Crowd goes wild. Tighten. Probably be helpful if I switch to my number 1 bag. And the wind's going to push me. I was doing a 10% wind adjustment, so we're right at the red line here. That's about 1. It's about 2 rings. Hitting it perfect. See if I got enough overpower on there so I didn't get too much overpower, so I blow through. But I clip that rough. I'm a little bit to the left of where I'd like to be. The wind pushed me off to the left. I really didn't adjust out for the wind. Where my opponent's at's a little bit better spot, but I should still have a really good shot with my sniper. And what I'm trying to do when I come to this hole is trying to get deep enough in the hole that I can be more to the right so that I'm actually, if I'm engaging side spin, I'm engaging some left-hand side spin to try and straighten the ball guide out so I'm running straight to the cup. It seems like when I'm off to the left trying to come in, you got to put on a little bit of side spin to bring it around, and the ball wants to, it's like there's a break and it wants to go to the right. Last time this was in a tournament, I hit several albies on this hole. I don't think in the weekend round I caught an albie, but I was like every round up to that point, I caught albies on this hole. And it's 0% to the cup. It was 10% on the drive, 0% to the cup. See where my red line is. I'm not going to be able to get up there without. I'm going to try and stay as much on this side as possible. See how the tail is kind of wobbly right there at the very end? It's like it wants to drift off to the right. 4 miles per hour. 4 mile per hour pool. See if we can hit it perfect and get it in the cup. Hitting it perfect. So we can get in the cup. Get in the hole, ball. Go home. Just a bit outside. And I think I was aiming on that side of the cup. Close. Close. I wish there was one no cigar. Close, but no. It was close, but it was a million miles away at the same time. Maybe we'll get on a run here and just get a bunch of City Park holes. I'm just trying to go out and have some fun, play some one-on-one, get the hell away from the tournaments. It's just been tournament after tournament after tournament after tournament with no breaks. Just trying to have some fun. Remember why we play the game, so we can have some fun. Now this, let's see if we get the, wow, we got a tailwind. Surprising. Where am I at in my club? I'm going to try this one down here. I'm working on this shot. See if I can get a little bit better because I got a little bit better ball guide than I've had in the past playing this hole. See if it's, I'm on the inside. I want to see how far that pushes me off. It's 1 miles per hour per ring. There's 5, 6, 7. Hitting it perfect. And see if I got the wind right. I'm telling you, that wind adjustment is brutal. Brutal. In the hole. But if you saw where I landed versus where I set up, I pulled way too much wind out on that. And what's funny is that if you get a headwind here, yesterday I was, and the day before I was doing headwind here, big headwind. and those same numbers. And I was setting myself up, and I started off with like a 10, then I went to a 20. And I'm doing a max number, even though I'm not at max club. And then I did a 50. It took a 50% adjustment on top of using max club at mid before I could finally just barely catch the green over there. So there's definitely some wind stuff, and depending on where you're hitting. So if you're hitting from the top of the hill, it's going to be one thing. If you're hitting from get in the hole, oh my gosh, that was a nice shot. Close. I like hitting from the top of the hill. I think you have a better shot from up there, but because these types of holes are purely racetracky. But that bottom one, you can come at it where you're on the flat, and it just seems like it would just seem like you'd have a better shot from down there. But you can obviously work it out from the top to get a hole in one. Hole in one. I hit the 200 hole in one mark not too long ago, and I didn't even catch it. And I didn't even catch it so that I could memorialize it. I'm working to try and get 200 albies. I got an albie earlier today in the Vineyard Acres on hole number. What was it? It was hole number 3. It came real close. If I'd have hit the shot on hole number 5, perfect, I think it would have been an albie as well. All right, so I demoed this earlier in the video with the rock, so I'm going to switch up to a QB, and I'll demo this with a QB. Because with my rock, the rock has more curl on it. And so with the rock, and it's got more rod distance. So with the rock, I need to set up like 3.5 rings off, and I think it's like 3 3/4 rings off. And you hit it perfect, and it'll go right through that gap. If I hit it great to the left or the right, it'll still go through that gap. But with a QB, you don't have quite as much curl, and you don't have quite as much rod distance. So instead of trying to hit it all the way through the gap where I'm right out here in the front, I'm actually trying to hit it so that I'm out here in the middle. And I think I brought a big dog last time, so it really didn't matter. But I think when I'm hitting far forward like that, I have a QB. I do have a QB. So this peninsula, blue ring off. So I want to line it up so that I'm kind of looking straight down it. I want to be where I can draw an imaginary line from that tip right to the edge of my blue ring. Blue ring off. Max. And I'm not going to put all of it on. I'm only going to put 3 topspin on. 10%, that's 3-3. I'm going to do like a 3-5 pull because I'm not trying to get all the way out there. What I'm trying to do is just lay up in that. Lay up before you get to that mouth and just be right in the middle. But the problem with this shot is that you can catch right there. You can catch it where it slides like that. And I just want to end up out there. If you put, I know that you look forward right there and you go, dude, you could have put all that topspin on. The deal is if you put all that topspin on, you're more apt to catch that slide. And even though if you didn't catch the slide, you'd have plenty of room. If you put all the topspin on there and you catch that slide, you'll end up in the sand every time. It's just one of those deals. So I'm not trying to get super greedy with it. If you bring out a big power ball, you've got a really good max distance sniper shot. I'm going to take 10% off. Headwind will be a little problematic because I will be at my red line. Just trying to get up there to the top. This is a difficult hole to get this shot in the cup, but it can be done. Okay, so there's my red line. I'm going to pull back just a little so that I have some room to adjust for the wind. Just going to dial it up to the cup. All right, so it's 5-6. I'm going to do a 5-1 pull. There's 5-1. Oh, anticipation. And that was off anyways because of the 5-6 headwind. You'd want to take that shot several times if you had headwind in the tournament, so you could dial that number in. I just find it really funny that on the drive we had tailwind, and on the shot to the cup we had headwind, and we're in the same plane. So that means that wind changed 180 degrees in the 5 minutes that it took us to walk from our first shot to our second shot. If you play on a real golf course, they want you got 5 minutes. They want you rolling through those holes, or the course marshal will come out and bitch at you. When I used to play golf all the time and I could really hit the ball, I always liked it when they'd come out and bitch and they go, "Hey, just go ahead and tee off." And I'm like, "Dude, they're still out there." "Oh, you're not going to hit it out that far?" And then I would intentionally try and hit the people. "Hey, man, course marshal told me to do it." And then the course marshal had quit bitching at me. Okay, 8-8. I know there's a wind adjustment here and I can't remember what it is. There's 5, 6, 7. I can't even see my rings. They're just washed out by the sand. Isn't it perfect? And that'll fall back down towards the cup. That wasn't exactly what I was trying to do. I wanted to actually stop at the cup. And I have a shot for this, but I can't remember how to do it. That's the part of the problem with my game is that I go from one tour to the next, and a tournament comes out, and I'm playing this tour, and I'm playing that tour. And it may be months. Hell, it may be years before I get back to it. I mean, sometimes, like, we just played the holes from the 2019 Summer Major, and I hadn't played those holes since the 2019 Summer Major. I totally forget I totally forget. I could have played these holes a week and a half ago, and we're already on some other stuff, and I've already forgotten. I don't try and worry about too much of that stuff unless I'm playing a tour. Like if you're really trying to go up and you're grinding on a tour, then obviously you want to have the numbers for that tour. You want to treat that tour just like a tournament where you know the numbers. What's up, sister? We're 1-1 right now. So. 1-1. They're playing a game called Battle Line. That is an excellent board game. It's a 2-person board game. It's a strategy board game. All right. I always want to play with 2 empty slots. How much time we got left on this video? Oh, hell. We're only halfway through. Look at that. Got 28 more minutes of listening to me talk. Trying to go out and win a few. I'm never really too concerned. If I'm playing in Tour 7, I'm playing in Tour 7 because I'm really trying to open up chess. The days that I'm playing in Tour 7, I'm really out working on clubs. Or if I'm really working on club. With the club card trading, it's not as much of a deal. Last summer, I was working on my Hornet, my Rock, and my Guardian, and I really wanted to get them to level 8. So I went and played Tour 5. Anytime that I was playing not for a tournament, I played Tour 5 to try and harvest out those Tour 5 clubs. And so I pretty much ground on Tour 5 for about 3.5, 4 months and got them from level 7 to level 8. And it happened pretty evenly. See if my opponent got out there. That will be their long iron range. What ball did they bring? Yeah, that'll definitely be long iron. If I had a backspin long iron, I don't think any of my bags have a backspin long iron, so I'm just going to lay it up. I don't need a big ball here. What do I got in QB? I'm going to bring a rock. No, I don't want to bring a rock because I got that down. I'll just bring my QB. We'll just hit against that headwind. Be way out there and take the side wind out. That way I can put a little bit of overpower on it. Get up there and trying to get into my sniper range so that I can do a rough bump. So I'm basically just laying it up. It might be a little far for the rough bump. Maybe. I'm not exactly sure how far I need to be out there with a Marlin in order to do the rough bump, but I can tell you right now with an 11 headwind, I'm screwed. So the rough bump might be out of the question. I could probably get to the spot where I could do the rough bump, but I'd have to put overpower on it, and that area down there is so slight that I don't really want to have to do that. So what I'm going to do, if that doesn't, there's no way that I have enough to work out the wind. I'm going to start off over here where my opponent's at, and I'm going to do a backspin, side spin, curl shot, and bring it back around to the hole. Very similar to what my opponent just did. Although from their distance with that wind, they could have done the rough bump. I'm going to be a little short. So I can do the rough bump if I didn't have an 8-7 headwind. But I'm not going to be able to do it with an 8-7 headwind. So I'm going to come out here where I have some breathing room. I'm going to do backspin, side spin. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Even from there, I'm going to have to do some overpower. Isn't it perfect? Just try and catch it and then bring it back around to the cup. I know that looks close, but the deal is that the whole deal was that the whole point was to just get on the green. So I just happened to catch it at the right spot. That looked like the spot where if I could catch it right, it would do the deal. But I thought I had left myself enough room to work out that wind, and I obviously was about 3.5, 4 rings short. But the goal in that situation was not to make it. If I would have made it, it would have been absolute luck. The whole goal was just to get up on the green, get up on the fringe, make a chip, force a shootout, and recover. You don't give yourself a lot of recovery opportunities, though, if you end up in the rough a lot. That's why it's fairway to green. Let's see which way we got. Let's see how strong the wind is. If we got a really small wind, I've got that QB. Yeah, that wind blows. I've got that quarterback. If we had a really small wind, I would use the pad. But with a Marlin, I think I'd have to use the overpower with that headwind. There you go. You better use some curl. I was going to say, if they're not going to use any curl, they might as well just give up. That'll be a nice little roll down to it. It's really, really hard from this side over here to get the trajectory to work towards the hole. Really, the only real legitimate way to get a hole in one here is to use that pad. Man, with a 5-7 headwind, that is just brutal. You know it's going to be like a 20% wind adjustment. What would that be? Yeah, I'm going to try it. Let's try it. So it's 5-7. I'm going to do a 20%, so that's a 5. There's 5-7. And I'm going to do another ring in a little. Put some curl on it. And I hit it 700 rings great to their left. If I'd have hit that, if I'd hit it just one ring great to the left, it would have made it over. That's funny. Funny. Good game. Every now and then you gotta be crazy. Come on. Otherwise, what are you doing? Come on, you got to take some chances every now and then. It's not a big deal. It's okay to lose. Come on, dude. Let's go, huh? Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Come on, dude. Come on, Paris. All right. Obviously, we're done waiting for you. Let's see if we can get a city park hole here instead of one of the Southern Pines. For some reason, yesterday I was thinking one of the holes. I think accidentally I played a Tour 7 match and I got one of the Sunshine Glades, and I was like, I didn't realize Sunshine Glades was in Tour 6. Is this one of the holes? This is one of the holes. There's several ways that you can go at this hole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try an extra mile. I'm going to bring out a Titan, the King. The reason I'm bringing out an extra mile, I normally play this with a rock. I'm bringing out the extra mile because I'm trying to get all the way over. I want to know, like, what is that? That's 6 topspin. I want to know how much topspin is too much. So there's 2.9. I'm gonna have to put a little bit of curl on it just to bring it around the tree and to clear the rough that's on the other side. That was 6 topspin. And that's about as much as you could possibly put on. But that's the angle that I'm trying to come at it. I'm trying to get out that far, and really, I'd like to be that far every time, but I don't want to be that far every time. And if you had any kind of a tailwind here, it's going to push it forward. You're going to get a little bit more run out. So 6 is probably too much. So 5 is probably a good number. You may be able to do a little more than 5, but 5 is probably right there. And that's with my rock, you only have 4.5 with the rock, and you're losing a little bit of raw distance. And I haven't been able to get out quite far enough. Normally, I like to hit right off this peninsula. It gives you a nice clean shot up to the cup. But from that area, depending on which ball you bring, you're going to be somewhere between mid and max club. And you have to make a different adjustment for that. And the deal is that you can be 3 yards farther forward or 3 yards farther back, and it's a different number. And I'm trying to find some spot out here where I'm in a better spot as far as red line to the ball. I'd really like to get out here so that I could do a rough bump. Because this hole, I've had success on this hole, but I've never had the success that I feel like I'm supposed to be getting on this hole. Wow. 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 Let's put back that much backspin on there. I guess I do. 2.5. And I got to be up towards max club, so I'm just going to do a max number. There's 2.5. Oh, can't get a good read if I hit it great. There is a rough bump up there, but that's a weird way to have to come at it from way up there with that much backspin on that. That's a weird way to do it, but there is a rough bump up there. And I think I'm going to work the number to try and do that rough bump. I'm going to work that out. So if we get this hole again, I'm going to work that up there. I had to go way up in order to get so that the tail wasn't running all the way off. It was definitely backspin. I'm going to figure out some other way to come at this hole, because coming at it from the front like this, it's like it's a 33% hole. Like, I really think that I should be getting, if what pisses me off on this hole is when I hit it perfect and it doesn't go on the cup. And that happens quite often. I think if I hit it perfect every time, it'd still be like a 50-50 hole. And it's one of those ones that you're putting yourself into your short iron, and you really should be able to, if you hit it perfect, drop it 70, in my mind, 75% of the time. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to see if I have options as other than just going to the hole and doing. If you're not having the success that you think you should be having on a shot, then pick a different shot or pick a different spot. Hit it farther, try and get farther. Come at it instead of coming at it the way I did, where you're going on the left-hand side of the tree, bringing it back to the right. Set your shot up so that you're on the right-hand side of the tree, so that you're farther away, so that maybe you can find the right distance and then work on that shot. But if you're not getting the success that you want from the spot that you're in, then pick another spot. All right, I was thinking around yesterday. I had a sniper here, and I was dinking around, and I tried to see how much, because with a Guardian, you can come right up here in the front. You're 2 rings off the transition between the fringe and the fairway, and 2 rings off the transition of the fairway and the rough. And you can wedge your rings in there, and you can do max backspin, max side spin, max curl, and it'll bring it right around to the hole. Your chances of making hole-in-one are grim, but you'll be within a yard and a half every single time. I was checking it out yesterday with my sniper to see how close I could get, and the answer was not very close. It doesn't have enough backspin. My buddy Hammer and Hank's got a shot worked out on this, though, and I need to actually talk to him about it, because he does have a shot with a sniper worked out on this hole where it's like he thinks of this hole as a hole-in-one hole, and I think of this hole as a not hole-in-one hole. All right, 2-1. I'm going to do a 10% pull. So there's 2, 3. I'm just going to hit it straight forward. Oh, hit it. Hit it to the right. Still have no idea where it was going to end up, even if I hit it perfect. So the whole goal is to work on speed to see if you can get close enough to it. So the grate to the right actually got me closer to the hole. Maybe. Good game. Let's see if they'll rematch. How much time we got here? 42 minutes. We got 16. We got 14 minutes. I'll be able to get it. We can get at least one more hole in if this guy doesn't waste our time. All right, screw you, dude. My fans are not waiting for you. I think we have time for just one more hole. So let's leave that slot, and maybe we can end up with full slots. All of our pin chests open. Usually when I'm like on a playing day, the whole goal is to play to get 4 pin chests. Oh, we got this hole again. So I've demoed this hole with a rock earlier on in the video. I demoed this hole with a QB. Now let's see if we can do. Let's see if I can. Let's see. All right, there's the spot. There's one. There's one. Half. I'm gonna take the wind out. It's a little over a ring. Let's see if we can catch the max overpower hook shot here. See if we can catch that fairway. Almost. I needed to be probably a good solid ring to the left of where I set that up. But where you'd have to go back and watch there is the second bounce. So I was somewhere where I was trying to get my ball guide fairly close to where I was right on the transition between the first and the second cut of the rough. But what you want to watch there is where my second bounce, where the first bounce hit, how much room I had from the first bounce to the rough on the left-hand side. And I think there was enough room there that I could have moved in at least a good solid ring. And that ring would have put me where I might have completely missed the rough on the other side. But somewhere out in that area, you can do that max horsepower hook. So you've seen all 3 shots. The cool thing is if you got a Nirvana in your bag, look how much distance I have with the Power 3 ball. So I can do exactly the same shot. It's just the needle's going to be running a little bit faster. And this is definitely a bag to bring a Spitfire. Like if you have a Spitfire and you don't normally use it, which I have no idea why you wouldn't, but if you don't normally use it, but you have one, you definitely want to bring it. Okay, it's 4-4. I'm going to take off. I'm going to do just a 4-ring pull, or a 4-mile-per-hour pull, which is 2 rings. Oh, I don't know if I could have gotten any more off on that. It's possible, I suppose. But there's 3 different ways that you can go at that hole. And the first 2 are completely setup shots. And even that max horsepower hook shot's a setup shot. Once you figure out the trajectory for your club, you can go back to that same spot, take out the wind. Bam. And it'll be different with the wind in the tournament. You'll have to adjust for it. I think the last time we played in this tournament, the wind was going from the right to the left. And it's definitely a 10%, plus 10% on the drive. -5 to the cup. But you got to hit perfect, not 17 rings great to one side or the other. Do as I say, not as I do. Maybe. Hitting it perfect. In the hole. I'm surprised that came in on the left-hand side. I wonder if that was because of drop. I wasn't even paying attention to which way the wind's blowing. Yeah, the wind was blowing that direction. I can't believe from that distance that wind had any factor. But going down to the cup, it's definitely kind of drifting off to the right-hand side or to the left-hand side. As I pointed straight at the flagpole, hit it perfect, and it came in between the flagpole and the left-hand edge of the cup. My opponent just barely made that one. Good game. Good game, man. And those are the only 3 shots that I would take on that hole. I would not try and do my extra mile where I did some straight up shot trying to go for it. I would either do the 2 layup shots. I wish I could remember the no move shot here. Seemed like it was maybe 2 backspin and 1 right hand side spin, something like that. And a 10% wind adjustment. I'm gonna try the no move shot. I need to go back and look because I need to remember what this hole is, because this is one of those holes that I've had to relearn how to play because they've redesigned it at least 3 times. That I've had to relearn how to play damn near every time it comes out in a tournament. I have to relearn how to play it. All right. I think. Where does that put me? All right, we'll try it. I'm going to do a 10%. So that's 7, 9, that's 8, that's 8, 8. I think we're probably in mid club. 3, 5. There's 5. I'm just going to move 6 rings. I think I'm in mid club. Look how unprepared I was. Didn't even know where I was at in my club. Didn't even check it. What a rookie. I'm pretty close. Almost got it. What would 6 rings would be? If it was mid club, it would be 1.5 per ring. So that'd be 3, 6. That would be 9 rings. And if I did the wind adjustment there, that wasn't too bad. All right. That was some Tour 6 Got some City Park holes. We got that one City Park hole 3 times, so that's a great, and I got to do it in 3 different ways, so that gave you guys a really good idea of 3 different ways to go at it. All right. Thanks for watching.